Warning, videos by Billy Alsbrooks do cause side effects. And those side effects are champions being born, dreams being realized, the weak becoming strong, weight loss, victory over unbelievable odds, incredible comeback stories, the sick being healed, marriages being restored, victory over all forms of addiction, job promotions, average people becoming millionaires, warriors becoming blessed and unstoppable. These videos will motivate and inspire you to take action. Warning, your faith is now being increased to the level it takes to move mountains. Arise, champion. I'm Billy Alsbrooks and I approve this message. I discipline my body and make it my slave, so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline, where we get it in every day. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Grind City all day. If you wanna taste greatness, you gotta choke all that weakness, laziness, and fear out of you. You gotta kill it all until all that remains is a champion. It's not the politicians that change the world. It's the people with discipline. Those that can stay disciplined will eventually rule the world. Champions don't make excuses, they make adjustments. You see, excuses are infinite, opportunities are rare. You gotta seize the moment. You can't breathe cause you choking on excuses. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline, where we get it in every day. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Grind City all day. I don't worry about the competition, cause see, they can't swim. So all I gotta do to win is just drown them and sweat. Ain't no lifeguard out here gonna save you. You gotta learn to swim while you chasing trends on social media, looking for likes and chasing followers. I'm out here getting that D don't stand for dollars, it stands for discipline. Greatness requires learning how to be comfortable with the things that make you uncomfortable. While you taking selfies and playing with your Snapchat filters, I'm in the gym adding more weight to the bar. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline, where we get it in every day. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Grind City all day. I don't grind like this to be good. I don't grind and work like this to be great. I got one vision and one vision only, and that's to be the best that's ever done this. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline, where we get it in every day. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Grind City all day. A champion's life revolves around discipline, self-mastery, seizing control of one's own mind, and then harnessing the full potential and power of focused thought. One who is king of his own mind will eventually be king of the physical realm. Therefore, I don't dilute or pollute my mind with those that produce average outcomes. All I project is greatness. I am constantly planning and cultivating an environment that is conducive to success. I'm a real interior designer. I get up every day and design my life from the inside out. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline, where we get it in every day. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Grind city all day. I'm a beast, and you don't wanna mess with me. I'm a beast, and you don't wanna mess with me. And all the champions say, I'm a beast, and you don't wanna mess with me. I'm a beast, and you don't wanna mess with me. And all the champions say, I'm hungry, dedicated, and I'm fearless. Hungry, dedicated, and I'm fearless. Hungry, dedicated, and I'm fearless. Hungry, dedicated. They don't want none. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline, where we get it in every day. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Welcome to the house of discipline. Grind city all day. I bring every area of my life into submission. I walk at the highest level of self-discipline, consistently doing what it takes to be successful. Today I vow to conquer myself. Thank you, God, for giving me the strength to overcome me, for giving me the power to bring my mind and flesh under total control, so I can glorify you in all things. This is Billy Alsbrooks, and I am blessed and unstoppable. Grind City. To God be the glory. Truth is the new black, the couture for greatness. Get your t-shirts now at blessedandunstoppable.com. Join the movement. When I get back to Florida, I start having 5, then 7, then 10 panic attacks per day. The old life I knew was nothing more than a blur now. My new life, darkness. My new life, guilt. My new life, intense fear, anxiety, and anticipation. My mind, I now no longer have control of. It's been hijacked by the past, overthrown with guilt, mentally incarcerated, constantly on guard, expecting the next emotional terrorist attack. There's no peace, there's no joy, there's no happiness. Every day is just Groundhog Day, over and over and over. Emotionally and physically, I was broken. Now, some of you have never experienced a panic attack, so I want to explain to you how it feels. I want you to think back in your life to the time, that moment that you were the most scared, most terrified, most in fear for your own survival. I mean, the point where you can see your whole life flash in front of you. Now I want you to think of that time, and then I want you to stretch it. Imagine stretching that moment over 60 seconds, over 60 minutes, over 24 hours, over 7 days, over 31 days, over 365 days a year, and it never ceasing. Just constant. Just imagine staying in that moment and it never ceasing. And no matter what you do, no matter what you try, it just persists. You cry and it doesn't do anything. You get angry and it doesn't do anything. It's just you and this invisible ghost that you can't see. It's all being triggered from the subconscious mind, and you have no control over it. It could rear its ugly head at any given time and bring you to your knees. When it's in your mind like this, it's not tangible, it's not physical, so you can't quite see what needs to be fixed. You can't put your hands around it. When these attacks start happening, you start getting dizzy. You feel like you can't breathe, that the world is just closing in around you and the walls are just gonna crush you. You have absolutely no control over these events. You just gotta sit there in the center of this thing and wait it out. The fear starts feeding itself until it becomes so traumatizing to the mind that the mind becomes irrational and hypersensitive to any physical ailment. These attacks became so intense that I would retreat to my bedroom for 2 weeks at a time without coming out. The slightest twitch in my body would send me in a rush to the emergency room. I went to the hospital 12 times in 9 months, thinking I was having a heart attack, thinking I was having a stroke, thinking I had some kind of terminal cancer. Every time these doctors would run their tests on me, they would come back and say, there's nothing physically wrong with you. But my subconscious mind just refused to accept this truth. The fear and anticipation of having another panic attack always triggered another panic attack. The rising tension on the inside, the adrenaline overload, and the escalating cycle of anticipation held me captive, alone in that bedroom, day after day after day. I stayed in my bedroom because it was the only thing that I could control. If I was gonna have a panic attack, I wanted to have it there, my safe zone. Even though that bedroom wasn't safe because the panic attacks would still occur, it was a false sense of comfort because you can't run from yourself. So I retreated to this restricted, miserable state of existence. Everybody I knew thought I went crazy and I lost my mind. And the truth is I had. I read this article about this program called Grief Share, where people would get together a couple times a week who had lost loved ones so they could share and vocalize their pain. So I went to a couple of meetings and it actually made it worse. See, I had PTSD from the trauma that I went through with my father. So every time these members would start sharing about their loved one in their last minutes or the last time they saw them or the condition that they had, it would trigger another panic attack inside me and I'd have to leave the group. I'd have to leave the meeting. I was actually a year and a half late to that group. See, I should have done that right away after my father had died and dealt with those emotions then, but I didn't know about that. I let a year and a half go by and let this stuff stack up in me until it just exploded. The type of mental imbalances that I had needed to be approached strategically in order to bring my mind back into balance. So I went to see 5 or 6 different therapists, 3 or 4 different pastors, psychologists. I went to see anybody who would see me, but nothing seemed to work. They either wanted to just give me medication, or I didn't connect with them personally, or I felt that they just didn't care about me at all and it was just all about money. No matter who I saw, my condition stayed the same. Sometimes it even got worse. So I retreated to the room for another 2 weeks. Finally, my wife called another therapist, and I could hear her in the living room on the phone with him explaining my situation. And she told him, I don't think Billy can make it to your office. And the therapist said, well, I'll come to you. And I could hear him say that from the other room because she had him on speakerphone. And it was just something about the way he said, I'll come to him, that just gave me this small sense of hope. Now, he had just graduated and barely been doing therapy for 6 months. But I felt the sincerity of him, like he really cared about me. And I was a motivated patient. See, when you take a person who really wants to change, and you take a therapist who is passionate about his clients, who really cares, I knew those were 2 winning ingredients. Now, I told him on the first session, I said, now you don't have the experience of the guys that I've seen. You don't have a Harvard degree, and you've only been in business 6 months, but I can tell that you care. I can tell that you're passionate about therapy. And I'm desperate. I will do whatever you tell me to do. If it means I'm gonna get out of this situation, if it means I can get my life back, I will do it. I had finally come to the end of me. I had done all I knew. So I started meeting with him 2 or 3 times a week. Depending on my condition, there wasn't any immediate signs of improvement or change or any of that kind of thing, but I just felt like I was in an environment now that was conducive for healing. I started doing this one thing that changed my life, and I started it out of desperation. But God used that desperation for the foundation. Every time I started feeling this fear and anxiety start to come on me, I'd walk out my front door and start walking around our block. We had a block that was about a mile long, and I would just take off and start walking. So angry, tears in my eyes, just yelling at God, why me? Don't you love me? Don't you hear my prayers? Can't you see I'm struggling? Why did this happen to me? Why did you let this happen to me? I would do these walks 4 or 5 times a day. In the morning, in the evening, at night, and late nights. Out there screaming at God. All the neighbors thinking I done lost it. See me out there talking to myself. But brokenness is the womb that gives birth to miracles. The more we go through the fire, the more refined we become. And God shaped me and prepared me for the calling on those walks. In the midst of my trials and tribulation, God showed up and introduced himself. He took that desperation and turned it into a relationship. I didn't go out on that block to find him, but on that block he found me. He gave me revelation as to what fear was. Fear is faith in reverse. If fear can destroy one's life, then faith must be able to rebuild it. I had so much anger, so much guilt, so much frustration built up on the inside of me, but no way to channel it. My mother suggested that I go buy a punching bag and hang it up in the backyard and just let it all out. So I went to the sports store and bought me a brand new bag and went in the backyard and hung it up. I put on the gloves and I hit the bag like 2 times. Bah, bah. And I started having another panic attack. Started getting dizzy, short of breath. So I ran inside thinking I was having a heart attack. So I called my mother on the phone. I said, Mom, I was out punching the bag. I was doing what you told me to do. And I feel like I'm about to pass out. And she said, no more, son. You go back in that backyard and you hit that bag. And I said, Mama, I can't. I feel like I need to go to the hospital. And she said, no, son. You go back in the backyard. You put those gloves on and you hit that bag. If you need to stay on the phone with me to do it, you do it. But you go back in that backyard and you hit that bag right now. Everybody knows you can't tell Mama no. So I reluctantly walked back out there with her on the phone with me. And I put those gloves back on. And I said, Mom, I'm just gonna hit it one time and I'm going back inside. I can't take this now. And she said, you hit that bag. So I threw a left, I threw a jab. Bah, I did it, Mama. That's enough. And she said, no, you hit that bag again. So I threw the right, boom. Threw the left, boom. Switching hands with the phone, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. I'll call you back, Mama. And I let all that frustration out in that bag, in that backyard that day. That was the first time that I was able to channel it and fight back in some kind of way. And I just kept hitting that bag. Bah, bah. I just kept imagining that ghost I'd been fighting. Now I had something to see, and I'm just punching it like I'm punching that ghost. Bah, bah. You're not gonna steal my life from me no more. All the years you done took from me. All the dreams you done stole from me. All the money, the happiness, the joy that you done robbed me of. I want it all back now. I hit that bag. I kicked that bag. And I screamed at that bag until my knuckles were bloody. That was the first time that I had really started fighting back. I drew a line in the sand and I said, no more. blessed and unstoppable. Success starts with putting the right things into your mind. And my new book, Blessed and Unstoppable, was strategically designed to align your mind with the laws of success. This curriculum will teach you the inner mechanics required to go from average to phenomenal. From living a life with limits to being blessed and unstoppable. As you follow this guide step by step, amazing breakthroughs will happen. New doors of opportunity will open, and favor will begin to chase you down. Blessed and Unstoppable is a 31-day devotional on the laws of success. This book will instigate the thought process and actions required to transform your life. Each day has a Bible verse, a teaching on that day's principle, a positive affirmation, a prayer for the day, self-assessment questions, success quotes, action steps, and a powerful inspirational message. Regardless of what field you're in, Blessed and Unstoppable is your blueprint for success. Get your copy at blessedandunstoppable.com. Also available on Amazon.